Today we're talking about my Prime Minister for once. Justin Trudeau, Canadian Prime Minister. I voted for this guy. Let's see if he's gonna disappoint. It seems like, guys, let me tell you, it seems like he's been some disappointing stuff. It seems like the leaders of the free world are not really standing up for freedom. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's France and France alone. Right now, it's France and France alone. Unfortunately, everybody is surrendering to Islam. Hey, what a concept, hey? Surrendering to Islam. Islam means surrender. Cowards. I tell you, they are cowards. This one is in French. So I don't know.
nos gestes sur d'autres.
So I guess we can't play this one. Let's look at this one instead. Hi everyone in the live chat. I see Jason is here. I see Fatima is here. I see Atsis. Oh, the great Harris Sultan is here. I think Trump would have supported, but he's obviously busy with elections. Yeah, yeah, we don't want his support. Audio is fine. Oh, thank you guys. Fatima, AGA, Soha, Katie, and everyone else. Guys, look at this. We have Pakistan. We have guys. Go support Harris Sultan. Subscribe to his channel. Anyways, let's take a look at this video and see what happened.
Moving on, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has
Oof, hot. Sorry, got distracted. One more time.
Moving on, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has distanced himself from the position of French President Emmanuel Macron on the issue of freedom of expression. Speaking about blasphemy in France, Trudeau said free speech doesn't guarantee needlessly hurting certain communities. Trudeau said freedom of speech is not without limits and it is necessary to act with respect for others in a civilized society. He said Canada defends freedom of expression but will not endorse shouting.
Canada does not defend freedom of expression, but Canada does defend freedom of expression, but okay. So the but it's the but that always makes it ruins everything, right? Look at this. Here, listen one more time.
Civilized society.
It says Canada.
He said Canada defends freedom of expression.
Canada defends freedom of expression, but so it doesn't.
Expression, but will not endorse shouting fire in a movie theater crowded with people.
That's not the same goddamn thing, you goddamn moron. Okay.
He said in a pluralist society, it is necessary to be aware of the impact of words, particularly on communities that still experience discrimination. Meanwhile, Indonesia's president...
That is not your role as the government. That is not your... You do not have a say in that, but we'll get to this. We'll get to this show.
...said freedom of speech that insults a sacred...
Yeah, okay, that's the whole... He's coming with that can't shout fire in the theater argument. Yeah, you guys, I'm going to have a response to this, but you guys, yeah, victim blaming, exactly, AJ, victim blaming this moron, exactly. Yes, you guys are getting this right. I'm going to have my response to all of this, but let me know how you guys would respond to this, the whole fire in the theater argument.
Values of religion cannot be justified.
What? Great job, Trudeau. You're on the side of these idiots.
Said freedom of speech that insults the sacred values of religion cannot be justified.
Wait, did he actually say this last part as well, or is that someone else? I can't believe...
Particularly on communities that still experience discrimination. Meanwhile, Indonesia's president...
On communities that still experience discrimination. Are you goddamn serious? We're talking about ideas. What does this got to do with the fact that they're experiencing discrimination? If you're experiencing discrimination, that doesn't mean we don't get to say anything about your ideas, about your values. What the hell does that got to do with anything? Oh, God damn it.
President said freedom of speech that...
Wait, who said this last part? I can't believe this. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Hold on.
President said freedom of...
Come back.
Experience discrimination. Meanwhile, Indonesia's
president... Oh, Indonesia. Okay, God damn it, because this was a higher level of stupid.
President said freedom of speech that insults the sacred values of religion cannot be justified.
You could go fuck yourself. But I almost thought that this was something that Trudeau said because this was a higher level of stupid. Yeah, it can be justified. What? Freedom of speech? Okay, Indonesia, you're a higher level of stupid, way beyond Justin Trudeau, obviously, though. You're an Islamic country. What do you expect? Hold on. What did he say?
Discrimination. Meanwhile, Indonesia's president said freedom of speech that insults the sacred values of religion cannot be justified.
Why not? Why can it not be justified? What's the point of having free speech then if it cannot be justified here? Oh, let's protect freedom of speech. What kind of speech? The things that we like. Okay, if it's things that you like, then why do you need protection? Why do the speech that you like need protection? If it was things that people were not offended by, if it wasn't insulting or offending people's sacred cows, would it need defending? Or it would just be, you would just say those things and nobody would be offended. And it would not need protection. Only offensive speech requires protection. The whole point of freedom of speech is to defend offensive speech because other speech would not be limited. Other speech would not be attacked. Other speech would not be challenged. You idiots. These are leaders of countries, by the way.
Earlier, Hezbollah's chief
Oh, great job. Hey, Trudeau, you're on the side of Hezbollah.
said France declared war on Muslims by publishing blasphemous caricatures.
All right, let's go through this slowly, okay? By the way, I'm going to go through this slowly, but also once we do this, we're going to go over some of the really fast consequences of Justin Trudeau's idiocy here. But let's look at what you guys are saying in the live chat first before we do that, okay? Katie's saying, I don't think we can consider theater a public place. Not everyone is allowed in without proper procedure, like a ticket and body check. Public places are public places. Yeah, but okay, so the difference between that is that if you say something that is already here's the thing, okay? Free speech doesn't protect you saying, hey, so-and-so, go end the life of this person and I will pay you this many dollars. Okay? So that's already covered on a different crime, right? The conspiracy to commit murder, right? So obviously it can be like if police comes like, hey, I just said something, why is my freedom of speech being violated? No. You can't do that. That's covered under a different crime, right? If you say, hey, look, this bottle here, okay, this cures cancer. Give me $10 and I give you this bottle and it cures cancer, okay? That is not freedom of speech. This is a scam. It's not, and the reason why it's illegal is not because my freedom of speech is being violated. This is illegal under a different law that has nothing to do with an expression of an idea, okay? So if you go to a crowded theater and you yell fire, okay, and if people get harmed, you are doing something that is actively harming people, directly harming people, right? This is not just an expression of fire. This is not you sitting in a theater and saying like, hey, I think I hate fire. I don't know. I wish humans never invented fire, okay? If somebody said like, what are you talking about? I worship fire. You're abusing my feelings, okay? I'm insulted. Why do you not like fire, okay? I worship fire and you just committed blasphemy, okay? That is these cartoons are closer to that discussion. This is not like, oh, you're shouting fire and a whole bunch of people burn because people can't get out or in a more structured way. This is not that, okay? This is not like, oh, people burning alive in a theater because you shouted fire or something like that, okay? Or people being, dying under other people's like feet or running, something like that, okay? This is not that. Okay, this is you sitting in a theater and before the movie starts, you're telling your friend, oh, you worship fire? Fuck fire. And that person saying like, oh, you just hurt my feelings. This is more close to that, okay? Let me see what else you guys are saying. You are trying to stop freedom of oh, I can't say that, Afshin. Don't make me say those things. Okay, you guys just read it off of the screen. Katie's saying we went from Indonesia is a moderate Islamic nation and is still so it's still so regressive to thank God it's Indonesia, not Canada. Yeah, our bars are getting lower. It's crazy. Yeah, you're right. All right, let's go through this slowly for the idiots back at the back who do not get what we're trying to say. Okay, here AJ is saying causing chaos, panic, and injury. First responders will be called, making them unavailable for real emergencies. Yes, exactly. And this should be a crime if you did it on purpose as well, right? If you like shouted fire so that you caused mayhem or something like that, right? That should be a crime. Obviously, that should be a crime. Okay, that is not. That is so different. And the fact that this idiot does not see the difference. This idiot does not see the difference. Like this guy has the. You have no idea how much damage he has caused. Like I will get into it, right? First, we're going to analyze how stupid this is, and then we're going to analyze how much damage he just caused just by uttering these words. As you guys, I don't know how to express. This is not just like, oh my God, Trudeau just said something stupid. Like the precedent that is set by a leader of a country that is supposedly a free country, like these words just now being out there by Canadian Prime Minister, globally they will be used now forever, guys. Like the standards, the global standards, if it for freedom of expression, if it was here before he said that, it just dropped. This is like these words. This is why when Trump went out and said like, oh, we should make the burning of the flag illegal. When I told you guys that him saying that has caused more damage on a global scale, more than most people realize. You guys don't understand a lot of you don't understand how big of a damage this is. The United States is the country that is the role model of freedom of expression, right? And now you have the president of that country. Even if you can't do that, you have the president saying that, oh, the burning of the flag should be illegal in this country. Even if that never happens, it would never happen. But that is such a major gift, such a giant gift to all the advocates against freedom of expression. That you have the country that have the First Amendment, the president of that country went out and said the burning of a flag should be illegal. But Canada is seen as a role model, because United States, because of Trump and all, a lot of people don't see it as a role model, right? But Canada as a country is seen by many people, Muslim, non-Muslim, as a more moderate, as a less aggressive country, as a country that is chill, as a country that supports Enlightenment values, as a country that is like less aggressive, more friendly, as a country that values people's rights, it's anti-bigotry, anti-discrimination, welcomes dissidents. So for Canada, for example, a lot of Muslims wouldn't go and say like, "Hey, Trump said this," because they wouldn't want to use Trump as a role model, right? They might say like, "Hey," they might like, "Oh, even Trump said something like this," even somebody as bad as Trump. But for Canada is seen as a country that is the people that consider themselves anti-racist, they wouldn't mind using Canada as a role model, right? So when Canada goes and Prime Minister of Canada goes says something like this line, free speech it's not without its limits. This line will be used forever, and I will show you, because within hours of him saying this turned into memes, and they're throwing it at me right even. They're already throwing it at me. This will be used for decades. This one line has made us go back years. Such an irresponsible. Like again, if the president of Indonesia says that, like, who? Yeah, that's an Islamic country. This is fucking Canada. I'm telling you guys, it's France and only France. I hope France doesn't cower away. This is why when Majid Nawaz says we need to park our principles, I tell, go fuck yourself, Majid Nawaz. This is not a time that we park our principles. Everyone else is cowering. Everyone else is taking taking 2 steps back. We need to take 10 steps forward when everybody is like, Enlightenment values are being thrown out the window. The only limitation that we have is actual physical harm. Is direct harm. Direct harm. That is already criminalized under other laws. It doesn't need to be criminalized under freedom of expression. You don't need to introduce limitations to free speech because of direct harm, because those direct harms are already criminalized by other laws. So you don't need to go and say like, oh, let's put a limitation of free speech. If somebody says like, oh, if you go, let's limit free speech that does not include somebody hiring somebody for, I don't know, murder or something like that. No, you don't need to limit free speech because that's already crime under a different law. Let free speech be. Let it be. If you want to add that limitation, just say no scam, no conspiracy to commit murder. It's already there. Do not draw circles around free speech. The limitations that cause direct harms have already been made illegal under laws that is not introduce any limitation to free speech itself. Scams are already illegal. You don't need to be like, oh, free speech, there's no limitation to free speech, but if your free speech is like scamming people, no, scams are already illegal. Let free speech be, let it be. Anyways, let's see. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau defended free speech, but added that it was not without limits and should not arbitrary and needlessly hurt. Who says who? You do not get to. You're the government. You don't get to decide this. You don't. If this is your own. You're saying this as who? As Justin or as Prime Minister? You're speaking as the Prime Minister. You don't get to say this. Because you saying this is the government introducing limitations. Who decides? This is not part of Canadian law. But you're speaking as the Canadian government right now. Are you saying this as Justin to your friends and buddies? Is that a limitation on your own standards, on your own moral principles that you have? Fine, don't do whatever you don't want to do. Don't say the things that you don't want to say. Go tell your kids not to say the things that you don't want them to say. You don't get to say this as the Prime Minister in Canada. There are no laws. There are no laws in Canada that has this limitation. So on behalf of the government, are you introducing limitations that is not part of the Canadian law right now? Where are you getting this from? You're the Prime Minister. You don't get to introduce laws like this. Are you pretending that there's a limitation like this in Canada? Because there's not. And if there's not, then why do you say we should not? Says who? You don't get to just come and introduce these lines without like having the parliament and everybody in law. You have a legislative body that gets to who you have no authority to introduce this limitation. Needlessly hurt? How do you define hurt? Are you talking about hurt feelings? Are you serious? Well, you just hurt my feelings. Hey, Justin, let's introduce your standards. Okay, arbitrary, right? Should not arbitrary and needlessly hurt. Okay, you just hurt my feelings. Who's going to decide if it was needless or if it was not needless? You could say like, oh, your feelings were hurt, but this was not needless. I needed to say this. Well, guess what? We think we need to blaspheme to normalize blasphemy. So who gets to decide what hurt means and who gets to decide what needless means? You see how you're saying we can't introduce arbitrary lines and you yourself are introducing arbitrarily like standards here? You're saying like, oh, we shouldn't arbitrarily hurt people where you are arbitrarily coming up with words like needless and hurt. What do you mean by hurt? Are you talking about hurt feelings? I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, when we blaspheme, when we go after Islam, when we mock the Prophet, or whatever we do, we don't think it's needless. Who gets to decide that's needless? Is it you? Because I'm deciding that you just hurt my feelings and that was needless. So you should have shut the fuck up, Justin. You just hurt my feelings. This just legitimately hurt my feelings. This legitimately hurt my feelings. So are we going to introduce that standard on you, Justin? Oh, okay, certain communities. Oh, I guess I'm an individual and not a community. That's why I don't count. There goes individualism. Oh, I'm an ex-Muslim communities. Hey, we are a community. You heard our. See, this is how you use. You become a collectivist instead of an individualist. If you do not, this is why we need to become an atheist. Oh, Atheist Republic is a community. Hey, there we go. If you're not an individualist and you want to use collectivism instead of individualism, that's why Atheist Republic is a community. And you arbitrarily, Justin Trudeau, you arbitrarily and needlessly hurt the feelings of the Atheist Republic community. So where are we now? What are we gonna do now? Huh? What are we going to do now? Who's going to decide this? Okay. So I was saying I get offended by peaches as they give me rashes and hurt my feelings and I can't eat them. So I demand peaches to be banned from all over the world. Oh no. This is so close to home for Armin. Yeah. This is my prime minister. I voted for this guy. Trudeau should know that protecting minority rights doesn't mean promoting their extremist values or any of their values, even extremist values. Yeah. Hey, look at this. I am a Muslim, but I like listening to you. Well, Mansour, you're so welcome here. Okay. I appreciate the fact that you are able to listen to people that might not always agree with you. That's very mature of you. So you're always welcome here at Atheist Republic. Thank you for being here. Makes me happy that you're here. Oh, look at this. PJ is saying no one cares for your feelings, sir. Only we care. Hashtag Guru Armin. I love you, PG. Katie saying France will get support from only right-wing nations. Yeah, unfortunately, if not from the sane Western nations. This is how you make right-wing people, right-wing loons, more. Give them more dominance and more legitimacy because they're the only. God damn it, guys! You finally got somebody that is not far right bigot to go after these ideas, and everybody is abandoning it. This is how you get the far right rising. This is how you get the far right rising. Support Macron if you don't want the far right to rise. Katie continues. It's Trudeau that France and Macron are the. It's Trudeau. What do you mean? That France and Macron are the only sane opposition to Islam for now. Yeah, I hope we don't lose this. I hope I've seen. I don't know. We'll see what Macron is gonna do. So we are not allowed to hurt feelings of certain communities. Seems arbitrary. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't like arbitrary, but he's introducing arbitrary standards himself. Yeah, exactly. See, guys, learn from India. This is why the right wing is so popular in India, because the left wing people became Islamic apologists, and now you have a major right-wing problem in India, okay? Do not let what happened to India happen to the rest of the goddamn planet. All right, guys, we need to go through this article. Oh, look at this statement. We will always defend freedom of expression. It doesn't sound like it, Justin. It does not sound like you will. It doesn't sound like it, okay? When you say when there's a but, okay, we will always defend freedom of expression, Mr. Trudeau said in response to a question about the right to show a caricature of the Prophet Muhammad, as far as the Charlie Hebdo magazine did. But when you say, again, guys, when you say we will always defend freedom of expression and then follow up with but, this always and this but here, you see this? You see this always here and this but here, they contradict each other. There's an always and there's a but. There's an always and there's a but. Nope. This is not how you always defend freedom of expression, okay? But freedom of expression is not without limits. If freedom of expression has limits, then it's not free. If freedom of expression has limits, then it's not freedom of expression, Justin. You are a leader of a free country that is supposed to guide the rest of the goddamn planet to become more free, to value Enlightenment values, to celebrate Enlightenment values, and to promote Enlightenment values, and you just cowered and surrendered to Islam. Islam is winning, guys. Islam is winning. The leader of one of the most important free countries on this planet when it comes to countries that celebrate Enlightenment values bent the knee to Islam. They bent the knee to Islam. Do you think Justin would have said the same thing about some far-right ideas, huh? Do you think he would say the same thing? Let's say there were some far-right communities, and we made some cartoons that was offensive to them. And a reporter came and asked Justin, "Hey, Justin, what do you think about these caricatures of some of these far-right groups in this magazine? Do you think people should be able to make fun of these far-right groups? Do you think Justin Trudeau in that situation would come and say, we will always defend freedom of expression, but, there needs to be some limits. There needs to be some limits. We cannot arbitrarily and needlessly hurt certain communities." Do you think he would say that? And if he did, what would you imagine the backlash to that would be like? If Justin Trudeau said, "Hey, don't make fun of the triple K people with caricatures. These communities, can't hurt the feelings of certain communities." I guess in that situation they would say it needs to be an oppressed community. An oppressed community. So if you are oppressed, then your feelings should not be hurt and your ideas should not be mocked. Do these people realize that they are actually the reason why these communities get more oppressed? Because if you limit the mockery and the ridicule and the criticism of the ideas of the people of members of these communities, guess who are you giving the monopoly over expressing these ideas? Right? Let's say the civilized world, the people that are like, "Hey, I have a problem with Islam and I don't like Muhammad," but with these communities, they're oppressed. So let's not add to that. And you go like, "Okay, fine, we're not going to make fun of Muhammad. We're not going to criticize the Quran. We're not going to ridicule the Hadith. It's ridiculous." But these people, they're bigots in the streets and they're being oppressed and they're being discriminated. We're adding to that if we do this, okay? Imagine if the civilized world did that, okay? Do you know what's going to happen if you do that? In the name of trying to protect these minority groups, then the people that are like, no, I want to see these ideas be ridiculed. Who do you think is going to be left? Who are the groups of people that are going to be like, oh, these moderate or leftist people, they're not going to do it. Who do you think is going to step in? Or even right-wing people that are not bigots? It's the far right, it's the bigots, it's the racists, it's the people that do not hate Islam. It's going to be the people who hate Muslims and migrants and brown people. Those are the people like, "Hey, you know why you should hate Muslims? Because Islam is bad." They're going to use Islam is bad to tell you why you should hate Muslims. We here do the opposite. We here is like, "Hey, Islam is bad, but people are wrong. Muslims are better than Islam. Most Muslims are better than Islam." And yeah, Muslims are wrong to believe in Islam, but so what? Everybody is wrong about something. We will criticize Islam. We think its values are cancerous. But hey, most Muslims don't follow those ideas anyways. And we say the best way to fight Islam is to befriend Muslims, right? You are eliminating people like us from the equation. And you give the voice, you give the monopoly and the platform, and anybody who's like curious about Islam, if they go and find the things that they hate about Islam, they're gonna hear it from those guys. The guys like, hey, look at how violent Islam is, and you know who believes in this? These Muslims, and this is why you should be scared of these people. And that's how you demonize Muslim. That's how you otherize the Muslims, and that's how you promote discrimination and oppression and ostracization against Muslims. You wanted to help these minority groups, you shot yourself in the foot. Congratulations, Justin Trudeau. Congratulations into contributing to the oppression and discrimination against Muslims. Guys, this is not a theory. This is how it works over and over again. How do you think Trump got elected? How do you think Brexit happened? How do you think the far-right groups in France and in Germany got into power? It was this fear-mongering. It's like limiting everybody else. Nobody else could have these discussions. They were the only ones. I'm not making this stuff up. This is what happened. The Muslims should be saying, hey, Macron, hey, come look at these mosques. Hey, yes, please get this in order. Yes, fight segregation because we want you to be in power. Because if you're not, Marine Le Pen will be in power. Then we're screwed. Then as much as, France doesn't seem like home. You're trying to make it seem like home to us. You're trying to include us as French citizens. But if you lose, if you fail, then the far-right groups will gain power from you. And then we're definitely not going to feel like home in France. Let's continue. I tell Muslims, guys, we are your friendly neighborhood anti-Islam activists. Let us take a dump on Islam so that these far-right people do not have a monopoly. Okay, if we take a giant smelly dump on Islam, okay, I know it's offensive. I know you don't like it. Okay, if you're a Muslim and watching this, I know it's like, ugh, why is he saying, I love my prophet so much. Why is Armin saying these things? I don't like it. I know, okay? I know. Here's the thing. If you hear me say these things, you came to me. I didn't come to you. You came to me, okay? So, but here's the thing. Let me tell you, okay? You don't have to watch me take a giant dump on your prophet, okay? You could go watch something else. So if you hear me taking a giant dump on your prophet, you chose to hear that, okay? You chose that, okay? But let me keep doing that, okay? Because I'm telling you, as much as it hurts, as much as it sucks to be offended, I know it sucks, okay? I know. Like the people that say you shouldn't be offended, they're full of crap. You cannot help but be offended. I know. I used to be Muslim. I know it hurts. It hurts. I know. Okay? But being offended is much, much less of a problem than being discriminated against. Okay? I will say things, and we here at Atheist Republic, we will say things that you will find offensive. But when people come and fight against you as a person, when they come and oppress you, when they come and try to challenge your rights, I will be on your side. I will fight them, okay? So let the anti-Islam activists be people like me and the people here in the live chat, okay? Let it be us, okay? See, we will be offensive. Those bigots will also be offensive, okay? But if you remove us and they become more relevant, the difference is that we will fight for your rights and they will fight against your rights. Okay? If people come and try to arrest you because you're a Muslim, put you in concentration camps, try to knife you, try to close your mosques, we will be there. We'll be like, hey, This is not good. We will be the voice that will be on your side in those situations, okay? So who do you want to be the people that are growing as the anti-Islam activists? Us or those bigots? So don't shut us up. Don't shut us up. Like, okay, fine, I don't like it. These idiots are saying things that, is, Allah will take care of them. I don't know. Something will happen, okay? Yeah, you don't have to listen to us. But let us, for your own sake, let us be the anti-Islam activists. All right. Okay, so here's the example that we give. Okay, but freedom of expression is not without without limits. He added, we owe it to ourselves. We owe it to ourselves to act with respect for others and to seek not to arbitrarily or unnecessarily injure those with whom we are sharing a society and planet. Okay, here's the thing. If they don't like the cartoons, how is this injury? Okay, yo, Justin, you're talking. This is the news. The reporter asked you about somebody that was just beheaded. Somebody was just beheaded, and you're using the word injure. You're using the word injure. This is pissing me off, okay? Somebody was beheaded for drawing a cartoon, and you're using the word injure not to refer to the beheading. You're using the word injure to refer to the drawing of cartoons. Guys, this is why aliens don't talk to us, okay? Yes, Sarah, victim blaming, exactly. Yes, Katie, no one fucking gets injured over hurt feelings. Guys, it's a fucking cartoon. And here's the thing, they get to not look at it. If somebody comes and, like, if you're a Muslim and somebody comes like, look at this cartoon, you have to look at it, okay? I would be like, this harassment, cut it out. Like, that guy who's showing a cartoon that you don't want to see, that guy's a criminal. That's harassment. They're showing you things that you don't like, okay? But if you go and look for oh my God, I'm offended. Let me go see this cartoon that is offending me, okay? That's on you. That is on you. Unnecessarily injure. How is this, like, do you know when you set that precedent, Justin Trudeau? Justin, do you understand that if this is the line that you're drawing, look at this. He is so hypocritical. Look at the level of self-awareness, because he's saying arbitrarily injure people, but what he doesn't realize is that he's drawing arbitrary lines, because what is the definition of unnecessary and injure? Because if you want to set that precedent, then there is no limit to the limitations on freedom of expression. Because based on this standard, Justin, any line around freedom of expression could be justified as a line that stops unnecessary injury. Do you understand this, Justin? Any line that limits now, any limitation on freedom of expression can now be justified as something that stops unnecessary injury. There is no limitation now to the limitations that you could introduce to freedom of expression. And you, Justin, as the leader of a free country, introduce that precedent to the planet. Thank you so much, you goddamn fucking moron. Shut the fuck up already. Fucking hell. We do not have the right for... did he just say we do not have the right? Okay, let me see. We do not have the right, for example, to shout fire in a movie theater crowded with people. There are always limits. Dude, this limit, again, I'm telling you, these people, he's the prime minister and he doesn't understand this. This limit is a limit not because of an expression of idea. This is a limit that is introduced because of a limitation based on a different hurt. It's not the hurt feelings of the crying out fire that introduces this limit. Again, I keep telling you, if you tell people that, hey, this cures cancer and it doesn't, and you sell it to people because you're telling them it cures cancer, that's not a limitation of your freedom of expression. That's a different limitation. Scams are illegal, okay? So there's no limitation that it's not your expression of words that is being limited. It's the fact that you cannot commit scams that are limited. For example, let's say you're tied to a machine that is a voice recognition machine. And if you say a phrase, this machine is going to chop your head off. Right? I go to a room, I read the instruction to this machine, and you're tied to this machine. And as soon as I say a very unique set of words, the machine is just going to chop your head off. I'm going to look at you in the eyes. I'm going to say those phrases, say the phrase exactly. And the machine takes notice and your head gets chopped off. I just committed murder if I did that, okay? You're like, I can't go and be like, what? I just said words. I said words. What happened to freedom of expression? Hey, I just said words. I should be able to say any words. Like, no, you knew what this machine is going to do if you say these words. You just committed murder. We're not arresting you because there's a limitation on freedom of expression. We're arresting you for murder. Do you guys you understand how this works? There's no limitation to freedom of expression being introduced. It's covered under a different law. Okay, so distancing himself from the position of French president. Oh, see? Macron is alone in the world. Nobody's defending Macron. This is why the French now hate us, the English-speaking world, okay? Because they're looking around. They're the only people right now that are standing on a global scale. They're standing in defense. The French are right now the guardians of Enlightenment values. And they're looking around the world. They're looking at the English-speaking world for allies. And they see no one. And they see betrayal. They see abandonment. And then we wonder why the French hate us so much. Because we left them alone when they needed us to speak on their behalf the most. Justin Trudeau, you failed. You failed the guardians of Enlightenment values. When your voice was needed the most, you cowered away. You picked the side of Islam instead of France. Distancing himself from the position of French President Emmanuel Macron, Trudeau pleaded for a careful use of free speech. Fuck you. Fuck you, Justin Trudeau. Fuck you upright in the ass. Come on, look at this. If you do not go, guys, when freedom of speech is being challenged, you do not plead with people to be careful. This is the Majid Nawaz way. Parker principles. That's fucking bullshit. When freedom of expression is being challenged, you double down, you triple down, you quadruple down. I don't know what the next one is, but you do that, whatever the next one is. Yes, with a cactus, exactly, Terrell. No, but that's a crime. We're not actually saying, yeah, unless that's his kink. No kink shaming. Katie saying there's a Reuters article about UK asking fellow NATO nations to defend free speech during the France-Turkey. Okay, tell me that somewhere else. Right now we're focusing on this, but thank you. In a pluralist, diverse, and respectful society like ours, we owe it to ourselves to be aware of the impact of our words. Yeah, guys, we are very careful. We are very aware, and that's why we blaspheme. That's why we double down. Because of, this is Justin, listen. This is exactly why you needed to double down right now on blasphemy and protecting blasphemy. Okay? Because you need to be aware of the impact of your words. You have damaged, the planet is now a worse place because of you, because you challenge enlightenment values. So yes, we owe it to ourselves to be aware of the impact of our words. And you failed at this, Justin. You yourself failed at this. You think that we have to be being careful on the impact of our words means we shouldn't be hurting other people's feelings. No. Being careful of the impact of our words means when freedom of expression is being challenged, then you say the exact words that other people are saying you don't get to say. You ask them, hey, what? Okay, so, excuse me. Can you explain what it is that I'm not supposed to say? Please explain to me exactly the things that you're telling me not to say, so I could say it 1,000 times. Okay? When freedom of expression is being challenged, then the impact that you want to have on the world is our words that piss on the red lines that people are drawing around you. That's the impact that you want to have on the world, Justin. That's the impact that you want to have on the world. So he says, we owe it to ourselves to be aware of the impact of our words, of our actions on others, particularly these communities and populations who still experience a great deal of discrimination. Well, thanks to you, they're going to experience more discrimination, Justin. Go fuck yourself. I already explained this. Imagine treating people like children, like, oh, you're oppressed, so I'm not going to hurt your feelings, as if they're the same things. Same thing. Imagine like, hey, like, yes, Muslims are being put into concentration camps. They're being tortured. They're being stabbed. So, are we going to address those? No, let's not hurt their feelings instead. One of these things does not seem like the others. Okay? So Muslims around the world, they're being arrested, they're being put into concentration camps, they're being oppressed, they're being treated like second-class citizens, they're being stabbed by bigots. And also some of them are having hurt feelings because of cartoons. One of these things are not like the others. And given the amount of hurt that some Muslims have gone through, I think it should be an insult to those Muslims for you to say, oh yeah, let's not hurt their feelings, as if this is even close to that. As if this should be even treated anything similar to those other experiences. Hey, eager Muslims in concentration camps in China, don't worry. Justin Trudeau said we're not going to hurt your feelings. Have fun in concentration camps. Ex-Shia is saying any set of ideas that controls a group of people's deserves to be criticized and mocked. Exactly. Well, I mean, even if it didn't, any idea, any set of ideas deserve to be criticized and mocked. Even if they're good ideas. Even if they're best of ideas. They don't have to be bad ideas for them to be deserving of mockery and ridicule. Ridicule atheism. At the same time, he said society is ready for a public debate on these issues. Yeah, I agree with that, because morons like you haven't got this right. To have these complex it's not that complex, Justin. Just because you're a fucking moron and you don't get it, that doesn't mean it makes it. It's very simple, okay? It's very simple. Societies that celebrate Enlightenment values have done better than societies that haven't. Data shows that. And it's pretty clear cut, okay? It's pretty clear cut. It's beyond reasonable doubt by now. It's not that complex. But sure, we'll keep having debates. We'll keep having these conversations for the sake of morons like you. To have these guys, by the way, Justin is my prime minister. See how I'm insulting him? See, Justin, you see? You're not. I can tell you that Justin Trudeau is not capable, does not have the power. Even if he wanted to do anything, we, I, see, the activism that we're doing is the type of activism that has gotten Canada to a place where Justin Trudeau does not have, or anybody in his position, or anybody in the Canadian government, would never be able to do anything against me, even if they wanted to. It's not that they don't want to. I mean, they don't want to, but even if they wanted to, even if they wanted to, they have no authority. I could go say whatever I want against them, ridicule them, mock them, piss on their photos, whatever. And there is the entire Canadian government with all its military and all its police and all its institutions is incapable of shutting me up. Me as a Canadian have power over them in this aspect. And that has happened in Canada because of activists who fought for these values. Values that Justin is now betraying. There are people that sacrificed, that bled for, that gave up their safety, their freedom, their sanity sometimes, their lives. Again, I'm telling you, these values have been paid for in blood, in lives, in loved ones. And it was a gift by many people that came before you. And you take it for free. These Canadians, these Americans, these French people, these British people, the Germans, they just born into it with no cost to them. And they're like, hey, should we maybe give this up? They have no idea what they have. They have no idea how unique historically and geographically these values are, and how lucky they are that other people sacrifice for them to have it. And how if you give up any of these values, even a tiny bit, even if you take half a step back, they will take years to get it back again, because governments, authorities, when they take your rights away, they're not going to just give it back to you voluntarily. If you just be like, oh, I have these rights, I'm going to give it away. Do you think, like, if you say, oh, I regret that, can I have it back, please? Do you think they're just going to give it back to you when you regret? No, you have to bleed again to get it back. You have to sacrifice again hundreds of years to get it back. So don't give it away. Don't give it away, because they're not going to give it back when you give it away to you. It's not free. People think, again, this is one problem I have with the Enlightenment philosophers, is that they're like, oh, these are rights ordained by God or by nature. And like, these are like, what did it say? Self something? Something that means that they're obvious, or like they're given but endowed by nature or something crap like that. No, this is why I'm glad that you don't have to use nature or God's language anymore to it, because we have data to show that these values work. What do they say? Self something? They use a word that makes it seem like it's like as obvious that these laws should be values. But no, it's not. This is not something that it just comes by naturally. These values are not values that just come up naturally. They don't just come out of the ground and like, oh yeah, of course we have to have freedom of expression. This is like my natural right. It's not your natural rights. These are not natural rights. There's nothing natural about them. These are social constructs, good ones. But people say, oh, these are made up, as if that's a bad thing. Yeah, made up good things could be great. Social constructs could be great. The fact that we get to say what we want, like, these are values that we made up, and we did a great job, like the humans made up, and they did an amazing job at making it up. So don't think they're natural, that they're just like oozing out of the sky, like they're not raining down, they're not in nature, okay? People built them, and if you don't keep defending them, it's going to crumble down. So nobody figured out what I was trying to say. Self something. No, nobody. Anybody? Okay. As he had done the day before with the leaders of European Union, Prime Minister Trudeau insisted on condemning the recent awful and appalling extremist attack in France. Oh, you whoopie-doo, congratulations. Yes, Mansour is saying Trudeau just gave a buttload of ammo to those Dawa morons. Yeah, exactly. By the way, Mansour is a Muslim and he gets it. See, Mansour gets it. Mansour is on our side. Mansour as a Muslim is on our side, and atheists are not on our side. Imagine that. The Muslims understand the values of freedom of expression. You know, if you're a Muslim that is on the side, again, I take a Muslim that is fighting for enlightenment, even if I disagree with a Muslim because of they believe in Islam and all that, right? I don't care that I disagree with them on that. I will mention my disagreements with them on that, okay? But in the fight that we're right now fighting, a Muslim who believes in freedom of expression, I take that in our army for guarding enlightenment values. I take a Muslim that is on the side of freedom of expression over 1 million atheists who are against it. It is unjust. So this is what the Prime Minister Justin is saying. Self-evident. Thank you, Jesus Christ. This is what I wanted to say. Yes, quiet renaissance. Thank you. Self-evident. Self-evident. They're not self-evident. If they were self-evident, you wouldn't need to take this many activists to be able to fight for them. Okay, calling them self-evident makes it seem like, yeah, of course, it's just going to naturally appear out of nowhere. No, okay? These are values that people fight for, and when you get them, you don't just drop, you don't just like go, oh, we could go home now, we got these values. Oh, women rights, gay rights, freedom of expression, secularism, government accountability, democracy. Oh yeah, we got it. Oh, okay, we could go home now. No. You fight for it, you get it, and then you create an army to defend it. There's nothing self-evident about them. Again, that's one criticism I have. This is why today when the Enlightenment thinkers, when they were introducing these ideas, they were using that kind of language, and I do appreciate them in popularizing these ideas. But today we don't need that garbage language to defend these ideas. Today we have data. We have data to show that these values work. We don't need to convince people that this is a gift from God or nature or that is self-evident. Okay, so the Prime Minister says it is unjustifiable, and Canada wholeheartedly condemn these acts while standing with our French friends. You're not standing with them, Justin. You're not standing with them. You're betraying them, who are going through extremely difficult times. Well, you just stabbed them in the back. I'm sorry. Canada's parliament observed a moment of silence for the 3 people stabbed to death earlier in church in Nice, in southern France, by a Tunisian man who was apprehended. Anger erupted in the Middle East in response to Macron defending the right to publish the cartoons in France. Yeah, and this is when you should have defended Macron over this, and you didn't. Macron made the comments during a tribute last week to some guys. This Macron is the only one that is doing this right now. I hope he doesn't change course, but we need to support him. Let me show you guys something interesting. We're already going 1 hour, so I need to show you guys quick. Okay, this is my Facebook wall, right? Look, I posted this, right? Look at this. This is a guy this guy hates me a lot, okay? And he comes and criticizes me. This meme is now popping everywhere. They're already throwing this at us, and it hasn't been even a day, and it's already now turned into a weapon. You see it? Okay. You see, it's already turned into a weapon by these anti-free speech activists. This guy, they're throwing this around. This is now a bullet. This is a bullet in the weapons of anti-free speech advocates. Very mature and dignified comment by Justin Trudeau. Like, look at these Western countries. Why can't you, or what, Armin? Why can't you be more like Justin Trudeau? See, non-Muslims get it. Western countries of of free countries get it. Oh, you don't want to pay attention to Muslims? It's fine. Pay attention to Justin Trudeau. It's already turned, like, they didn't wait a second. It took them half a second to turn this into a stone that they throw at anybody who wants to be like, hey, freedom of speech. Now they have Justin Trudeau's face and the Canadian flag behind the support on limitations for freedom of expression. The Canadian flag has now turned into a stamp on approving the limitations on freedom of expression. Great job, Justin. A great job, Justin. Congratulations. You fucked us. Look, even Susanna noticed this. Look. It's showing up everywhere already. Guys, this is why we blaspheme here at the Atheist Republic. Because we look at your red lines, and we fucking piss on them. We piss on your red lines. Because this is what the world is carrying away. The world is abandoning Enlightenment values. All sides. From every side. From Islam, from Christianity, from Judaism, from Hinduism, for the Wokistani Mujahideen, for the far-right bigots. Everybody is attacking Enlightenment values. And now from Canada. From Canada. This is not the Wokistani Mujahideen. This is mainstream leftism. These are the moderates. This is why you guys need to join my army. We are the guardians of Enlightenment values here, guys. Everybody, this is a very tiny, tiny army. We need to grow this army. Join this army by subscribing to this channel. Let's look at this one last example. This is by Saint Susanna herself. Oh, guys, use the emotes for Saint Susanna. We have Saint Susanna emotes. Our members get to use it. Only members can use it. Okay, so Saint Susanna is saying, thanks for nothing, Justin Trudeau. Within less than 24 hours, your irresponsible statement regarding the limits of freedom of expression is used to validate legal threats against myself and my organization for our pro-LGBT art supporting marriage equality in India. So this is her post, and there's an example here. Look, so this is in response to our post. In place of slamming Muslims for attack on France, which is totally wrong and fiercely condemnable, religious Hindus should take down Armin Navabi and his gang of perverts. Under the garb of atheism, they are selling clothes with vulgar portrayals of Hindu goddesses. Justin Trudeau has said that free speech does not include hurting anyone's religious sentiments, so he should take action against Atheist Republic too. See, like even the Hindutva, the Muslims. See, this is Muslims are. This is now a bullet in the chamber of Muslims. It's now a bullet in the chamber of these Hindutva people. Great. And look, Justin Trudeau is even trending in Canada now because of this idiocy. Yeah, I see you guys are using Saint Susie emotes. I can't highlight that. If I highlight it, StreamYard does not show it, but I see it that you guys are using it. Yes. Guru Armin is also an emote. I forgot. There's another important tweet that I need to show. So Ali Rizvi also highlighted this thing by Justin Trudeau, and he shared the video of him talking in French. And this is what Ali Rizvi said. By the way, Ali Rizvi, if you guys don't know, he's my co-host on the podcast Secular Jihadist. Go search for Secular Jihadist on YouTube. You should be able to get our episodes. I'm an ex-Muslim. Ali Rizvi is an ex-Muslim as well. So, and we have a podcast together on Secular Jihadist. So you could either listen to our podcast Secular Jihadist on your podcast apps, or you could watch it on YouTube. You listen to it on YouTube. Just search for Secular Jihadist. It's really good. Trust me, it's really good. And it's called, the full name is Secular Jihadist for a Muslim Enlightenment. Again, enlightenment. So Ali Rizvi quoted this part of what Justin Trudeau said. It says, "Murdering over cartoon is wrong, but we should be respectful." Oof! I didn't see that part of the video. I don't know. So so Ali Rizvi, I don't know if this is exactly what Justin Trudeau said, but he's saying murdering over cartoon is wrong, but we should be respectful, is like saying the rapist is wrong, but women shouldn't dress provocatively. This is a perfect analogy. This is the blaming of the victim. This is blaming the victim. Perfectly said by Ali Rizvi. Again, let's read this one more time for the people at the back. Murdering over cartoons is wrong, but we should be respectful, is like saying the rapist is wrong, but women shouldn't dress provocatively. It's victim blaming, period, no excuse. I voted for you, Justin Trudeau. I hope you walk this back. This is perfect way to end this. Let me actually pay attention a little bit to you guys in the live chat before we go. Erkin is saying, Atheist Republic, okay, freedom of expression is only limited by others' freedom of expression. Well, I mean, it should be, it's limited by other crimes. There's no limit. Okay, so here's the thing. Again, there is no limit to freedom of expression. If you are shutting people up, like if you're trying to take their right away for freedom of expression, this is a crime. So even in that situation, there's no limit to freedom of expression. If you're being punished for doing that, you're being punished under a different. So if somebody wants to speak and I go and abuse them and shut them up, by intimidation or any other method, with my words, threaten them, for example, if I get punished for abusing them like that, my freedom of expression has not been limited. I'm being punished because of a different law. So there is no limit to freedom of expression. Those things that are being considered a crime, they have become illegal because of a different crime. They're categorized under a different thing, not a limitation of freedom of expression. You're committing a crime under a different category. Again, even based on this, I don't think there's any limitation to freedom of expression. How are you, again, like for example, if you're limiting someone else's freedom of expression, how are you doing that? If you're using your words, are you scared? Are you intimidating them? That's already a crime under something else. I don't agree with this saying the left hates freedoms. I don't agree with this. You're talking about the Pakistani Mujahideen, because the left has been the main champions of freedom. Most freedoms that we enjoy today has been the champions, the advocates for those values and ideas have been left leaning. Again, women rights, gay rights, trans rights, minority rights. These mostly came from the left. So I don't use the Pakistani Mujahideen with just mainstream leftists interchangeably. Anything else here before I go? What is your actual political spectrum that you stand? I don't know. Maybe I should do a live stream with doing a political compass thing with you guys to see where I stand right now. In the U.S. government, right for going Edward Snowden with CIA, they classifies files. Yeah, I mean Edward Snowden thing. Obviously, I'm on the side of hey, he shouldn't be punished. He should be free. Like this whole thing going after Edward Snowden, I'm against that. Obviously, he's not a criminal. He should be celebrated as a hero, I think. Oh, sorry, that was a question. Is the U.S. government right for going after Edward Snowden when the CIA? No, it's not right. I am very much against the U.S. government for going after Edward Snowden. Anything else? Limiting my freedom of expression is hurting my feelings. Good way of it. What do you think about hate speech? Define hate speech. It should be allowed under free speech. There should be a pro-free speech protest against what Justin Trudeau said, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. They all fall under human rights. Yep. Amoeba saying, okay, guys, I'm gonna do this question and then this question, and that's about it. Don't send me any more questions. Only one comment by objective reality, and then Amoeba and objective reality, and that's about it. Okay. Amoeba is saying. Yeah, I'll do one more after that as well. Okay, but no more. Don't send more questions. Amoeba saying, Armin, what Trudeau said is nothing comparable to what Scottish Justice Secretary Hamza Youssef is trying to do. He's almost introducing new blasphemy laws. Guys, we need to cover that. God damn it, man. Really? That's horrible. We need to cover that. We need to go after that. Good. Thank you for letting me know, Amoeba. I'm going to look into that. If I remember. I hope I remember. Objective reality said freedom of expression should always be absolute. The law should only restrain or limit actions from physically hurting others, not their sentiment. Yeah, but I agree. It should be absolute, but if you could use your words to hurt somebody physically, or if you could do a scam, I mean, those, again, I think the limitations are things that have justifiably in a democratic way using good arguments have already been classified as criminal. Those are the limitations to what you get to say, but not because there's a limitation on your expressing ideas or expressing words. It's a limitation because those limitations are not a freedom of expression. Those are categorized as a crime for other reasons, not because certain speech should not be said. I don't know if I'm expressing myself properly, right? There is no limitations. There is no limitation on freedom of expression. Those things are crime. Those things are crime not because an idea is being expressed. It's because you're committing murder using your words, or you're committing scam using your words, or other crimes that I can't think of right now. I want you guys to understand this very clearly, okay? Those are not limitations to freedom of expression. I need to think of a better way to explain this to everybody to make sure everyone gets this, because this is very important. Let me go. I think we should end this here. Please, my question. What do you think about the future of Turkey? What do I think about the future of Turkey? I do not usually do predictions. Right now it's going in the wrong direction. It's becoming more and more Islamized, and it's becoming more and more nationalist. And Turkey is having economical issues, and even though Erdogan is trying to get middle in more and more countries around the place. Erdogan is trying to bring back the Ottoman Empire. Okay, so the problem with people is that even though when your economy starts crashing, what do? Instead of actually focusing on the economy, you start tapping into nationalism and religious sentiments, and usually that's a great way to gain support, and it's working with Erdogan, and he's gonna do it more and more, and he's getting involved in way more countries outside of its borders, right? and that's really not good for the Turkish people. And I think this is going to continue, unfortunately, and it's really bad for every country in that region, and including Turkish people. Secularism is under threat in Turkey. Unfortunately, this is kind of Obama's fault. But we'll talk about that another time. The problem with most religious bigots is that they equate race with religion. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go. Oh wow, look at this. Ari said, I just got Armin's book. I can't wait to read it. Oh wow, thank you so much, Ari. Yes, my book is Why There Is No God. If you can buy it, buy it. If you cannot afford it, you can subscribe to our newsletter in the description and you get a free PDF copy. But if you can afford it, just go buy it. But if you can't, subscribing to our newsletter will make you get a free PDF copy. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go. Sarah sending us green hearts. I like green hearts. Thank you, Sarah. All right, love you guys. No, I don't love you. I do not love you if you're not subscribed. If you are not subscribed, I hate you with such a passion. I hate you. You watched more than 1 hour of this video. You got value out of this video, and you didn't give me a subscribe. So you could go screw yourself. You're the scum of this planet. You're scum. You're human garbage. Okay? But if you are subscribed, I love you. I love you with such passion. I adore you. You're the best example for what a human being could be. Okay? I love you with such passion. You're my soulmate. Okay? Okay? Thank you so much for subscribing. Please get more people to subscribe. Okay? Do it. Go get other people. Say like, guys, the values that made the world a better place is under attack. And this channel is the only channel who's defending it. Please go give it a subscribe. Get us to 50. Guys, if we make it to 50,000 subscribers one day, after that, we're just gonna go. It's just gonna be astronomical. The growth is going to be like, it's gonna be great. Okay, just get us to 50,000 subscribers. Tell everybody. Okay, go and get your grandma to subscribe to us. Okay, just do it. Okay, please. Okay, I send you kisses. Okay, I love you. Please do it. Go, get me subscribers, please. Okay, we really need. We are so alone here. We need to grow this army. Please go get me subscribers. Thank you. I love you. Okay, I love you too.